Cowboys zealots may be going a bit too far when placing their favorites in biblical connotations. But after looking at the way the NFL's winningest team has done it so far, well, then perhaps one should reconsider. After all, Dallas is 8-1, and in every game they've won, the Cowboys came from behind to get the victory. Because some of these comebacks bordered on the miraculous, a few wags now call Tom Landry's squad God's team, not America's team. Whichever you choose, one thing is certain: the Cowboys are right at the top of the list of quality ball clubs. One reason is the emergence at quarterback of Danny White, who in Week 9 threw 5 touchdown passes in what else? A comeback win over the Giants. Earlier this season, he led Dallas to a 37-7 thrashing of the Philadelphia Eagles, and today a rematch is scheduled. Hoping for a different result this time around is Eagles first-year head coach Marion Campbell. After a strong start, the Birds have lost their last 3 games, but the 2 most recent defeats came by only 1 point each. One thing Philadelphia won't have is its best player. An injury has sidelined running back Wilbert Montgomery. So it's up to quarterback Ron Jaworski to light a fire under the slumping Eagles. Like the rest of the squad, Jaws hasn't forgotten that Cowboy crusher of a few weeks back and would love to make amends. So from Veterans Stadium in Philadelphia, it's an NFC Eastern matchup. The winningest team in the league, the Dallas Cowboys, against a wounded but still dangerous rival, the Philadelphia Eagles, in the NFL Game of the Week. The Cowboys were facing one of the worst defenses against the run in the Philadelphia Eagles. But you'd never have known it by the inspired level of play the Birds put out on the game's very first series. Number 78, Carl Hairston, dropped Dallas's Tony Dorsett for a big loss, a sign of things to come. In fact, it wasn't until midway in the second period that Dallas totaled net yardage on the plus side of the ledger. The Eagles, on the other hand, rolled up big yardage on their very first possession, as Wilbert Montgomery's stand-in, rookie Mike Williams, number 32, broke off the longest run of his career. Williams, a 4th-round draft pick out of Mississippi College, was not expected to make the team. Not only did he make the final cut, he also eventually beat out number 1 draft choice Michael Haddix for the starter spot after Wilbert Montgomery was injured. Against Dallas today, the youngster would chalk up a very respectable 90-yard total. Williams' fine run ignited both the team and the fans. And the vet was really jumping 2 plays later as Ron Jaworski hit number 82 wide receiver Mike Quick on a crossing pattern for the first score of the game. Mike Quick has been the biggest star of the Eagles' '83 season. This was his 8th touchdown of the year, and that isn't the only impressive statistic to speak of. The second-year receiver from North Carolina State has more receiving yardage than anyone else in football. A juggling Jaworski was able to latch onto the football, then find Quick in a seam. Quick had the only Eagles score in the previous Dallas game, an 83-yard bomb. Now here he was punching a hole in Doomsday's coverage once again. The Eagles led 7-0, and this was unusual. Here in Week 10 of the NFL season, Philadelphia was still looking for its first win at home. If Quick could continue to bedevil Dallas, well, maybe that long losing string at the vet would come to a close. The Eagle offense did its job, so it was time for the defense to return, and they continued to belie the numbers that showed them to be a poor rushing defense. Cowboy ball carriers certainly didn't find them easy pickings. The first quarter was a disaster for Dallas, made even more unpalatable by a swooping sack from Eagle pass rush specialist Greg Brown, number 98. Philadelphia was a team on fire, and they looked to be ready to score again, fueled by the efforts of Mike Williams and veteran wide receiver Harold Carmichael, who made the big plays in the Eagles' next possession. But as the second quarter began, the Eagles missed the first of several big opportunities of the day. At the goal line, Dallas linebacker Bruce Huther, number 55, made a critical stop on a sweeping Williams, and the drive fizzled. Tony Franklin did kick a field goal to make it 10-0 Philadelphia, but one could sense that Tom Landry's boys had won an important battle here. Now it was time for the Cowboy comeback kids to do their bit, and that's just what happened. Danny White found more success with the passing game, hitting Tony Hill first, then Tony Dorsett, number 33, for short but important gains. But the Eagles boast the league's best pass defense, and as expected, the aerial yardage was tougher to gain as Dallas drew closer to the end zone. Rafael Septien finally got Dallas on the board late in the period with a 39-yarder to make it 10-3 Philadelphia. Gradually, the momentum was beginning to swing the other way. Dallas was starting to recover from the Eagles' emotional first-period tidal wave. The Birds' passing game was checked for the remainder of the half, and soon the holes for the runners did not loom as large as they did a few minutes earlier. The Dallas Doomsday defense was tightening up. The defense was anxious for a big play, but number 72 Ed Jones negated this potential turnover when he jumped off sides. Number 32 Dennis Thurman lost his interception, but Ed Jones atoned for his errors shortly thereafter with a rattling sack on Jaworski. Tall's tackle gave the Cowboys possession with barely a minute to go in the half. From here, it was Danny White running the 2-minute drill to perfection. Number 88, Drew Pearson's amazing catch put the Cowboys in Eagle territory. And then a toss to number 20, fullback Ron Springs, brought Dallas ever closer. Philadelphia appeared to put Dallas out of reach for a touchdown when on a rare linebacker blitz, number 56 Jerry Robinson sacked White. But defensive holding wiped out Robinson's gem, and the Cowboys were quick to take advantage. On the very next play, White hit number 30 Timmy Newsom, and the game was suddenly tied at 10. just 40 seconds, the Cowboys had zipped down the field for their first touchdown. And as the half closed, the Eagles and their fans had to wonder. They had dominated the visitors for most of the game, yet could do no better than a tie. Perhaps the Cowboys were God's team. Divine intervention or not, all the Eagles could hope for were a few answered prayers of their own in the game's final 30 minutes. The Eagles had scored the game's first 10 points behind an offense that looked as sharp as it had all season. But the second half proved to be a different story. The crisp execution was gone. In its place was a fumbled snap from center. And when all the bodies were untangled, a Dallas recovery. The Eagles' defense did prevent Dallas from scoring a touchdown, but the Cowboys did take the lead for the first time, 13-10 on a field goal. Then Doomsday went to work, shutting down the running game it had so much trouble containing in the opening 30 minutes. Philadelphia, averaging only 91 yards rushing per game, got 105 in the first half alone. But the Cowboys stopped the Eagles cold in the third quarter. Dallas's offense then began producing the big plays that have been its trademark year in and year out. Number 88, Drew Pearson, a clever 11-year veteran, made a quick move to the outside, forcing the defensive back's hand, then turned upfield with a step on his man. The ball was perfectly thrown by Danny White, and the net result was 32 yards. A final look shows the precise timing and pure beauty of it all. The Cowboys were just getting started. The following play showcased the artistry of Tony Dorsett, number 33. Dorsett's 29-yard touchdown increased the Cowboys' lead to 20-10 and deserves another look. Dorsett is one of the quickest backs in the NFL, and he has that rare ability to size up the defense on the run. He is as effective a cutback runner as there is in the game, a man with an innate feel for when to stop, cut inside the pursuit, and turn it up. On this play, he slid laterally along the line of scrimmage until he felt that the defense had passed him by. And then number 33 made his move and was gone. The Eagles had now been outscored 20-0 since their opening 10-point burst in the first half. So Ron Jaworski went back to his big play man, Mike Quick, number 82. Quick's 37-yard catch was the key play in a 10-play drive that ended with Tony Franklin's second field goal of the game, this one from 37 yards out. A quickly paced third quarter was nearing its end, and the Eagles had bounced back to within a touchdown of the Cowboys. This NFC East rivalry has produced its share of tough, hard-nosed games, and this one from Veterans Stadium was about ready to be added to the collection. Following Franklin's field goal, the Eagles appeared to be in excellent shape. They had Dallas pinned deep in Cowboy territory at the 8-yard line. But Danny White calmly dropped back into the end zone on 2nd down and 12 and fired a bullet to number 86, Butch Johnson. The 20-yard gain got the Cowboys out of potential trouble. And as the third quarter turned into the fourth, White had his team on the move again, mixing runs by Dorsett with swing passes to running back Ron Springs, number 20. Four minutes into the final period, the Cowboys were primed to add to their 7-point lead. But Randy Logan abruptly ended Dallas's march right at the goal line. Logan's diving interception was the end result of outstanding team defense by Philadelphia. Another look reveals that White was unaware that Eagles' right outside linebacker Joel Williams was blitzing, and the Dallas quarterback was hit just as he threw the ball. The pass did not have its intended zip, coming up short of its mark and into the arms of a lunging Logan. But there was a drawback. The officials said that Logan was not in the end zone, and they marked the ball about a foot from the goal line. That whetted the appetite of Cowboys linebacker Anthony Dickerson, looking to record his second safety of the season, his first defeating New Orleans in the final 2 minutes. But the Eagles countered Dickerson's hunger with powerful bites by fullback Hubie Oliver, number 34, and overcame their poor field position. Dickerson is not the only Dallas defender capable of the big play. Cornerback Dennis Thurman is an 8-year veteran who always seems to have a nose for the ball with a game on the line. Against the Eagles with 7 minutes remaining in the game, he came up with a play that seemingly shut the door on Philadelphia. Thurman's interception in Eagles territory was, like Logan's a few minutes before, the product of strong team defense. An all-out blitz by free safety Michael Downs forced Jaworski to put the ball up for grabs. And Thurman was Johnny on the spot as he nabbed his 5th theft of the season. The Cowboys were in excellent position. A field goal would probably put the game out of reach. But they got more than that. After bringing the clock down to the 2-minute warning, running the ball almost exclusively, White crossed up the Eagles, calling for a pass on first down from the Philadelphia 18-yard line. The result, a touchdown to Tony Hill. This score was an example of Tom Landry's beautifully conceived offense at its best. The play began as a screen pass to the right. The Eagles' defense reacted that way, leaving the entire left side of the field uncovered. Unfortunately for them, that's where Hill was, and White's perfect pass upped Dallas's lead to 27-13. The score was 27-13. Less than 2 minutes remained in the game, but the Eagles refused to accept defeat. They came back in a hurry. Ron Jaworski to Glenn Young, 71 yards and a touchdown. All of a sudden, it was 27-20, and still a minute and a half was left on the clock. If the Eagles could get the ball back, they would have a chance to tie. The onside kick failed, and everyone expected Dallas to run out the clock. But Landry chose to have White throw. What appeared to be a brilliant and gutsy call turned out to be the play that kept Philadelphia's faint hopes alive, as Ron Springs fumbled the ball when hit from behind by number 48, Wes Hopkins. Number 59, Joel Williams' recovery came at the Eagles' own 5-yard line. In order to tie the Cowboys, Philadelphia had to go 95 yards in 1 minute and 5 seconds. An impossible task, you say? Maybe so, but don't tell Ron Jaworski and his Eagles teammates, for they were ready to make it happen. Well, okay, you were right. Time ran out on Philadelphia, and the Eagles suffered their 4th consecutive loss, but not before they gave the now 9-1 Cowboys all they could handle. Dallas boasts the best record in pro football, but it has not been easy for America's team. Tom Landry's troops have struggled almost every week, but the bottom line says 9 wins in 10 games. Their 9th victory ended this way: Dallas 27, Philadelphia 20.